Although Adelaide was round 3 of the series, it marked the beginning of the tough indoor competition. American Mike Jones made his annual journey down under and made an immediate impact. In front of a capacity 9,000 strong crowd, the former world champ progressed through the heats and semi-finals undefeated to start the 20-lap final as favourite.
You know, Mike Jones is in Australia to put on a show, and then second, I guess I want to win for Suzuki Australia, but SMP's helping me out as well, and I'm just happy to be here.
The crowd pleaser from Pennsylvania usually does just that, keeps the masses entertained, whether it be with expression session stunts or his trademark no-fear approach to crashing. But in Adelaide, he appeared to be more focused on his racing. Everything went to plan until lap 11. Jones lost grip and crashed out of contention. Oh, he's down! Our race leader is down!
You put the muck right, what have you done?
My hand came off the bars and I couldn't seem to find it back again, and after that, just basically went over the bars, landed on my head, and I was knocked unconscious for a few minutes.
Well, we're set for the 250 final was restarted and was taken out by Cameron Taylor, giving the young Victorian the 125 and 250 double. Well, what a great double-header for Cameron Taylor and a great way to start the indoors. Unlucky for Mike Jones, the American. He didn't quite do it. He was so close. But who knows here at the Brisbane Entertainment Centre. And joining us once again as our expert commentator, Danny Ham. Welcome back. I guess one of the most crucial things in Supercross in these indoor events is to get away to a good start throughout the heats.
Absolutely, we have
a series of heats with the top 24 riders progressing through to the tri-final. There's a desperation last chance qualifier, and only 8 will survive to make the main event.
Time to check the series points, and in the 250s, Yamaha's Craig Anderson leads the way convincingly by 8 points over Cameron Taylor, Andrew McFarlane in 3rd and Kawasaki's Peter Melton 4th. It's close for the minor placings. Doran, Carmichael, Chad Reed and Lee Hogan tied for that 7th spot.
Hi, I'm Mike Jones. Coming up after the break, you can see me in the No Fear expression session.
Well, if you've ever wondered what a Supercross bike really is, this is the latest on offer from Yamaha. This is a 250cc machine, and you can pick it up from your local bike store for around $9,000. And just like its road-going counterparts, staying at the forefront of technology is paramount. And with me is Chief Technician from the Yamaha team, Rob Twyrold, who's going to talk us through some of the finer points.
Thank you, Lee. Some of the features of this bike are the front and rear suspension. The front suspension is an upside-down design that features 12 inches of travel, same with the rear end. It has front and rear disc brakes that are very powerful to pull you up after the obstacles that they go over. The power plant is a very lightweight 2-stroke 250cc machine with 5-speed gearbox. It puts out 50 horsepower, so you can imagine in a 100-kilogram package that's very light and slim, it's very responsive, and the power to weight ratio is quite incredible.
Well, there you have it. That's the basic anatomy of a 250cc Supercross bike. This is the Yamaha, and most of the brands are quite similar. What makes the difference is the rider who sits on the top. Well, the start of the night is always an anxious time for the riders, and the first corner claimed some victims quite early. American Mike Jones was keen to continue his form from Adelaide. He started the night in the best possible way.
Another rider that was keen to get out there and start the night just as good as he did in Adelaide was Team CDR Yamaha's Craig Anderson. Not happy or content with his 2nd place over in Adelaide, he was out to show that he was going to be a force to be reckoned with, and proved it by getting out there and winning the heats early in the night.
The first corner continued to claim victims, while Castrol KTM rider Lee Hogan was trying to change his form from the previous round. Not even qualifying for the final was a disappointing time in Adelaide. Hogan set about changing that. Early in the night, this was a close one with Cameron Taylor. Hogan ended up getting there.
and together. Oh, Harper Blakely. What a ride. Put your hands together.
Another visiting American rider to come over to Australia was Factory Phil Lawrence. Usually a guy that's up there running with the big names in America, he adapted well early in the night. Factory Phil was used to riding a Kawasaki in the States, but tonight he had to come to terms with a KTM and a much smaller track.
Time now for the No Fear Expression session. Craig Carmichael, whoa!
That's a great jump there. Both feet off one hand. It's so hard to hold on.
This is Ben Jones. What's he got in store? The big knack-knack.
That is the biggest knack-knack I've seen in my life.
Excellent work. His American counterpart in the same name, Mike Jones.
There's just a typical classic cross-up right there.
Here's Carmichael for his second attempt. Another knack-knack.
Did you see that? His other foot came off. How he held it, I don't know.
Here's Jones. Oh, almost coming off.
I don't even know what he was trying to do there. Hands upside down.
Here's Ben Jones' second attempt. Oh, the big shin scraper. And he's down. Jones is down. And he's pretty happy about
He's
it.
pumped up, isn't he? That's a great shin scraper. He knew he didn't have the height. He got his feet back down, but it was just way too short. Landed the cases on top of the jump, and he just kept going forwards. It must have hurt, but he's definitely not showing it.
Welcome back. Well, here's something a little different for you. We're going to give you a rider's perspective of a lap around the Brisbane Entertainment Centre on board with Kawasaki's Peter Melton.
We enter the Stutters right now. This is one of the biggest passing areas during the night. You'll see it later on. You can either go low or high through the berm as we head up towards the triple. Only two being done this time. Later on in the finals, you'll see they're clearing all three of them across the start line down through the centre section. There's 5 jumps in a row. 2-2-1 is the way he's done it. They'll do 2-3 later on. Up towards the finish line tabletop, there's another jump after this that the big guys are jumping all the way over. It's a blind jump, very hard to judge. And that's one quick lap of Brisbane Entertainment Centre.
Tri-finals time is always very interesting. It's extremely cutthroat. Only the first 2 riders go through to the main event. The next 2, they do it the hard way through a last chance qualifier.
Hogan was the pace setter early on in this race. Mike Jones moves himself around into second. These 2 places are the only 2 that, as we said, go through, and these 2 are sitting very comfortably at the moment.
Lee Hogan had a complete form reversal in Brisbane. Adelaide was an absolute shocker for him, the 1997 Australian Supercross champ. He was needing some form. He found his rhythm early and continued on his undefeated way.
Lawrence gave Mike Jones a little bit of pressure towards the end of the race, just trying to get himself up into that second place and a transfer through the main. But he's not going to be able to do it. It's going to be Hogs and Mike Jones that come through with a first and second and a ticket through to the main event.
Well, Hogan was quite happy with himself. Let's hear what he has to say.
Well, my team manager, Jeff Lees, did a lot of work with my Supercross starting and techniques, and it seems to have paid off. The guy definitely knows what he's talking about.
Tri-final number 2, and it was Team Yamaha's Craig Anderson who was the one to beat in this one. Troy Doran did get away to a good start and challenged Anderson early. Anderson was another one that was undefeated right throughout the heat. He was trying to continue that form in the tri-final.
Andrew McFarlane, the Shark, forces his way through up the inside of Troy Doran. As they go down into the Stutters again, Anderson has a comfortable lead, and it's a big battle for second and third between Doran and McFarlane.
Well, a 10,000 strong crowd here at the Brisbane Entertainment Centre were really given a feast of fantastic Supercross action, and they got to see firsthand just how dominant Team Yamaha's Craig Anderson really is. He attributes most of that to his new machine.
The Yamaha 99 model I feel it's the best bike out there, and I can't ask for any more. You know, the CDR Yamaha team, I put in 110% effort for me and everyone at Yamaha. I can't ask for anything more.
Tri-final number 3, there's 4 riders already gone through to the final. There's 2 more spots up for grabs. Michael Byrne blew it in the first corner.
He was backdoored by a Kawasaki rider, but it's Carmichael that's come out on top of this second place and into that very important position.
Well, at the last round, it was Cameron Taylor who was the dominant rider, taking out the 125 and 250 double-header. That put him into second place in the points for the series. He needed to make the main event if he was going to continue to hassle Craig Anderson. He had a comfortable lead in tri-final number 3. The pressure was on second spot. Craig Carmichael on board his Kawasaki.
The two Honda riders battling very desperately at the moment to try and get that place away from Carmichael, but they weren't good enough. They didn't get through to that second place, and it's going to be Taylor and Carmichael that get that transfer through.
Certainly was a relieved Cameron Taylor.
I feel good tonight, you know. I mean, I guess I'm definitely trying for a repeat of Adelaide, and so far so good.
Checking the grid for the 125cc final, Paul Grant, Cameron Taylor, Duncan Hale and Michael Byrne. The next 4 places go like this. John DeStefano on board the KTM, Darryl Hurley on the Yamaha, Craig Carmichael points leader on the Kawasaki, and Jeff Dray in that 8th position. Set for a start and away we go. The 125 final, and it's Cameron Taylor and Darryl Hurley who get away to the best start. Hurley on board Bike H on the Yamaha. Through the studders they go. Hurley's got the outside run, but it's Cameron Taylor who comes blasting through on the inside. Carmichael in there as well.
Nearly every time the inside will win over the outside, and that's why Taylor has moved himself up into the lead. John DeStefano squeezed himself also up the inside, and he's now in 3rd.
Now there's a rider we haven't seen for quite some time. Castrol KTM's John DeStefano. There he is on 22. He's been out for quite some time through injury, but it's great to see him back. He's muscled his way up into 3rd spot, past Kawasaki's Craig Carmichael. Here's the Kiwi rider, Darryl Hurley, with DeStefano hot in pursuit.
He's closed up a bit of ground. I reckon a couple of laps, these guys are going to be battling and dicing very close indeed.
DeStefano has put in some good rides throughout the heat early in the night, but once again it's Cameron Taylor who's streaked away. He did this in Adelaide. Can Hurley and DeStefano do anything about him?
While they're out there battling between each other, it's slowing themselves up only fractionally, but it's that slight advantage that Cameron Taylor has got over these two.
Looked like Michael Byrne just ducked up the inside of Kawasaki's Craig Carmichael, so that's not good for the points leader. He's going backwards at the moment. Through that sequence of 5 jumps, they come around onto the Triple M tabletop. Hurley, they go 201 to Stefano. Looked like he tried to go for the big one right over the top. Didn't come off. You're looking at the 2nd place rider in Hurley. Our race leader has bolted. Through the studders they go. Here comes DeStefano. Whoa, up the inside. Johnny DeStefano, the big biff. Now he can, oh, he hits it, he's down. DeStefano's down, Hurley's down, and Carmichael. This is unbelievable.
It's a major event. There was also Paul Grant was in there. John DeStefano, he's under that bike. I hope he's okay.
Well, the race has been stopped. That was a terrible, terrible crash. John DeStefano trapped under it. Let's have a look at the replay as he blasts up the inside. Now, that's a perfectly legal move on Darryl Hurley, but this is where he gets into strife.
I don't know what he's actually done. He came up the inside and he was all out of shape, but it looked like he was in 1st gear or something. He didn't have the speed, all the distance to make it. He's trapped under the bike. The riders come smashing down. His leg got hammered. That's a bad crash.
Well, John DeStefano caught underneath the machines, and the other riders doing everything they can. Paul Grant trying to get off the top. Kawasaki's Craig Carmichael trying to pick up all the while DeStefano's underneath. He gets taken off on the stretcher.
He looks like he's okay. Well, that's a good thing.
Now, as a result of that crash, the race was declared. And these are the final placings. Cameron Taylor in for yet another win from Duncan Hale, Michael Byrne and Paul Grant. Jeff Dray, Carmichael Hurley, and obviously DeStefano didn't finish. 250 final after this break. Time for the 250 final as the stars of the Supercross Masters get ready. Hogan, Mike Jones, the visiting American rider, one of. Here's the points leader, Craig Anderson, all the pressure on him. Can he go through the night undefeated? Andy McFarlane, the Queenslander, and the 2nd American, factory Phil Lawrence on board the KTM. So we have a look at the grid for the 250 final. Cameron Taylor, Phil Lawrence, Craig Anderson on board the Team Yamaha, and Andrew McFarlane, who's been looking good throughout the night. KTM's 2nd rider in the final, Lee Hogan, Michael Byrne, Mike Jones, and Craig Carmichael. All right, ready to go now, just seconds away. Lee Hogan, anxious, ready to get away to a good start. Must get away to a good start on the inside, but it's Anderson into the 1st corner. He gets the whole shot. Around the outside goes McFarlane and Jones. Mike Jones has dropped it.
It's not the start he was looking for. It's so hard to come from behind. These guys out front have got a big advantage over Mike Jones now. He's got a lot of work in front of him.
There he is, just got a quick shot of him going out of shot. He was slowing down, looking down, and he has got a lot of work to do, but he's got plenty of time to try and make it up. Craig Anderson hot in pursuit of our race leader, Andy McFarlane, and there's the Castrol KTM rider, Lee Hogan, in third.
McFarlane's improved over the last few weeks. He's had a couple of good placings, and I think it's built his courage up, his confidence up. And now he's out there in the lead. I'm sure he's going to keep it there. He's not going to let Anderson get any sort of advantage over him at all.
Have a look at Team Yamaha's Craig Anderson sitting in second spot, very focused. Following McFarlane up and over the tabletop and the adjoining jump, clearing some 25 metres. He's putting the pressure right on McFarlane now. Through the stud as they come. Anderson is right on his hammer in this early stage. Can McFarlane withstand this pressure over the trees? Down! McFarlane, our race leader, is down.
He hit the hay bale with his front brake and locked it up and washed out. It's not a good thing to do, especially when you're in the lead.
Wow, what a bad time to drop the machine. He lost about 4 or 5 spots as well. Andrew McFarlane, and there's another position change.
Factory Phil
up into that second spot ahead of his teammate Lee Hogan.
It's Taylor now also back there in fourth. He's put the pressure on Hogan. Keep your eye on Taylor. Having a great night, squeezes up the inside and actually makes a pass stick. I didn't think he was quite far enough in front. He found the legs and got there.
Nice move, Cameron Taylor. So Lee Hogan, he's been so consistent tonight. Factory Phil, great close-up shot there. Hogan has been so consistent, so much so he's been undefeated until now. He's got a lot of work to do from here, sitting in fourth. This is our main man though, Craig Anderson, in the number 1 spot. He's the points leader, clears the triples easy, and he's got a bit of room to breathe.
These guys don't have to do an awful lot on the bike as far as gears go. They stay in second from the start and then all the way through the race. They won't change the gear at all. The outdoor tracks, they go through to second and third through the air, but this track, it's a little easier staying in second.
Phil Lawrence has been to Australia before, some 4 or 5 years ago. He's a consistent top 5 finisher in the AMA Supercross series over the past 4 or 5 years. This is his first serious ride in Australia in quite some time. He'd be loving sitting in second spot at the moment.
Keep your eye on Taylor. He's been looking up the inside a couple of times of Phil Lawrence. I don't know, he's trying to work out where he can get past. He may have something in store, I'm not sure. It's very hard to tell with these guys what they're actually thinking while they're riding.
This is not really Phil Lawrence's cup of tea, used to riding on much bigger circuits in the USA, but I tell you what, for his first time down under in quite some time, he's handled the conditions extremely well, and we will see him back for the next rounds as well. The next round particularly in Melbourne as Cameron Taylor comes closer, he draws closer. This 10,000 strong crowd on the edge of their seats as Taylor goes through. He's got the inside run on the KTM rider. Hard on the brakes up into this next section. Lawrence still hangs on to second.
Not quite that time round, but keep your eye on him. As I said, he's looking up the inside there. Always a different line to Phil Lawrence. You can't go through a ride, you just have to go around. Squeezes up the inside and makes the pass stick. There he goes, as I said, up the inside. It's a great move. He's thinking awful lot at the moment. That's why I guess he's come away with a win on the 125, and he looks like he's set for a win in the 250.
Taking care of business. How about this guy's form at present? Cameron Taylor just gets on with the job. No fuss, no problems. He's now up into second spot and trying to chase out after Craig Anderson. There's a lot of ground to catch up. There he is, our number 1 man, just 1 lap left to run. Graham Checkers Stewart, the finishing marshal, putting out the sign. Anderson's just got to hang on for 3/4 of a lap and he's home.
Taylor's come from a long way back. He's going to make a last-minute effort. Right, they almost hit him as he went through the corner. I don't know if it's going to be enough time, but he's there. Any mistake by Ando and he'll be through.
For a 20-year-old, this guy's incredibly calm, incredibly mature. This is it. He's going to take out the Brisbane round. Craig Anderson. What a win. Great stuff. He'll be very happy with that. That certainly helps his points. Cameron Taylor in for second. Phil Lawrence in for a good third. His KTM teammate Lee Hogan picking up fourth. Fifth was Andrew McFarlane after that fall, ahead of Byrne, Carmichael and Mike Jones finishing in 8th spot.
I couldn't believe it. I got 4 starts from 4 and I haven't done that for a while since Sydney. In 96 I got every hole shot and I won 9 out of 10 races on 2 nights, and this Yamaha is just the best thing out there. It's unreal to ride, and I just can't believe it that I've won 4 from 4. I won the main.
Yeah, I mean, well, can't complain. I really wanted to win that race pretty bad, but didn't quite get there. I think it was pretty close at the end.
You know, these guys are just really aggressive, and, you know, I really wasn't expecting it to be that aggressive, but, you know, I handled it okay, and next time I come down under, you know, I'll be a little more used to it, and hopefully I'll come out on top.
Checking the 250 series points, Craig Anderson now has a 9-point buffer over Cameron Taylor. Andrew McFarlane steady in third ahead of Kawasaki's Peter Melton and KTM rider Lee Hogan. There is a tie for fifth between Hogan and Carmichael, and we go back through Doran, Byrne, Lawrence and Chad Reed. The 125's Craig Carmichael now just has 1 point over Michael Byrne. Cameron Taylor coming up into third spot ahead of Yamaha's Darryl Hurley. Paul Grant sitting in fifth position. Another tie for fifth. Ben Jones is alongside him on the same points ahead of Scotty Bishop, Duncan Hale, Chad Reed and Takashi Katsuya. The next round of the Supercross Masters is in Melbourne next Saturday night. The really big news is, due to huge spectator response, there's a special Sunday afternoon show. On behalf of Danny Ham, I'm Lee Diffie. See you next time.